device. So before you jump on the big deal links I have in the description and pinned comment, there's a few things you need to know. But first, let's start with some good news and probably one of the things you guys are most curious about, and that's battery display off. And when I say always on display, I'm referring to how you can always see the watch face even when the display is technically in its off state. So with that disabled, I was able to get almost exactly 3 days of battery life.
Because battery claims are easy to achieve when you use a smartwatch like a normal watch. So I decided to use the Galaxy Watch Ultra 2 exactly how an active person would, wearing it day and night, tracking never touching the battery settings. And after 2 full days of real-world use, it still had enough power to get me through the night. And that immediately answered the biggest question I had about Samsung's most ambitious smartwatch yet. So that's
2.5 hours of exercise tracking and 3 nights of sleep tracking. And I think it's important to point out that that battery life would have been even longer if I didn't do those 2.5 hours of exercise tracking. But let's be honest, the Ultra Watch is really geared
that fit this now, but they also sell little lug adapters so you could fit other, basic 20 or 22 millimeter straps on here. The battery on the inside, as I said, is now 35% larger at 800 milliamp hours.
Samsung has kept the rugged cushion-style design, the grade 4 titanium frame, and the sapphire crystal display. It still has that unmistakable outdoor watch personality, but the biggest improvement is something you feel immediately. 2 is a tad bit slimmer than its predecessor. Samsung managed to reduce the thickness by around 12%, and that small change makes a huge difference during everyday use. The original Ultra felt extremely durable.
And most smartwatches, let's be honest, look pretty hideous. Not this one. The titanium case is 12% thinner than the previous Ultra. The bezel now has these engraved numbers running around it, and the whole thing just looks like metal instead of a screen glued onto a puck. It's still 47 millimeters, so definitely a bit of a chonker, and probably not built for the tinier wrist. But at around 61 grams, it wears surprisingly light. The 3 buttons.
This watch is a 47 millimeter square design, or squircle design as it's been said. And to be honest, when they first launched this design on the Galaxy Watch Ultra 1 a while ago, I didn't love it. There's some subtle tweaks about this design that just make it feel more intentional now. It's a little bit thinner, everything just feels a little bit more thought out and refined, and the bands are just so much better.
It's worth mentioning that they do have a bunch of different styles of watch bands available for both watches. So you can have something that's like this soft touch rubber, or you can have something that's fabric, or with the Ultra, they even have kind of like a leather. Speaking of the watch band, Samsung has this quick connect for the watch bands where you can just push the watch band in and that's all it takes to install it. While this is a super nice feature,
time. And the biggest comfort upgrade here, however, comes from the new strap design. Samsung moved away from the stiff, rigid strap of the previous generation and introduced a softer silicone band with integrated edge
guard around the orange quick button, which helps avoid those accidental presses, And the new bands are a massive upgrade as well, in my opinion. I've got the marine band in olive. I absolutely love this color because it's both
buttons on the right side, slightly different configuration there, a little bit less color. And now we have a 360 guard around that center right action button. So that should help to prevent accidental presses. And in my experience, it actually does a pretty good job.
And the new Galaxy Watch Ultra 2. One of the changes that they made under the hood is they've substituted Samsung's own chips with the Snapdragon Wear Elite chip. So that's something that may affect things.
Learn all the specs and stuff, go watch that video. In this video, it's more of a real life experience kind of video. There's a lot of hype with this watch. A giant battery, faster processor, brighter display, and to the hype. Well, kinda. Just to get some of the basics out of the way, this watch comes in at $699 US, though right now on Samsung's website, I noticed that it's already marked down for some reason, maybe some sort of
non-stop. I even dragged it through a workout while in London. And as someone who has owned just about every Apple Watch, I'm just gonna say this controversial thing right away. I think this is the best looking smartwatch ever made, period. But
most capable watch right now, but it's not cheap. So in this video, my goal is to answer the question, should you buy the $699 Galaxy Watch Ultra 2, or is it worth it to save some money on the Galaxy Watch 9 or Galaxy Watch?
Here, this watch is only compatible with Android phones. You can't use this watch with an iPhone, and there are some things that only work if you have a Samsung Galaxy phone in particular. Let's not waste any time.
GPS tracking or running, cycling, things like that, then you should expect to get even less battery life than the numbers I just gave you. When it comes to charging the watch, that's when we get our first issue, and it takes a long
watch faces. You can also take pictures with this bad boy. So to take a photo, it's pretty simple. You just gotta tap on this little camera icon and that'll open up the camera on your phone, everything. So you can tap for focus. You can even switch between photo and video mode. But there's kinda a hidden trick. If you need to zoom in, all you do is swipe clockwise on the edge of your watch, or to zoom out, swipe anti-clockwise.
Usability, but we'll take a look into that later. Inside the boxes, we have the watch faces themselves. Also in the box, we have our Watch 9 strap in cream, and our Ultra 2 strap in
everything lined up and you're ready to snap your pic. Instead of tapping this button, you just use your index finger and thumb, tap those together twice, and bam! You can also do the same gesture to take a video, just double pinch to start recording. And now if you double pinch again, you can pause the music. You guys get it. If you double pinch again, it'll then play your music. It's kind of like turning your fingers into a remote control. Okay, but if you get a notification, you can also double pinch to quickly
80% charge in the Ultra watch in 30 minutes or so. That should be enough to get you through an entire day. One more thing that was hiding in the box is a quick start guide. It's got a lot of pages, but it is all of
Android smartwatches, I don't test them as closely as I do Android smartphones. So I was surprised by how good this watch was, because my opinion on smartwatches, I guess now is a little bit outdated, but my opinion on smartwatches so it just wasn't really that enjoyable to use for me. But I'm happy to report that all that have been fixed. When I wear this watch, I don't have to check my phone. So before I talk about the features, let's go over the hardware first. So the watch body is constructed
For almost a week now, and this is not just a first impressions video. I want to give you an early look into my testing to see how accurate the heart rate, the sleep tracking, the GPS, and even a lot of the health and wellness features actually are. There are a lot of changes in this watch.
This is about 1/4 of an inch. So if you're putting on a long sleeve shirt and the sleeves are kind of tight, it will still get stuck when you're taking it on or off. The screen is gorgeous. You have this OLED display with resolution of 490.
If you look at them side by side, the differences are subtle on the outside. And speaking of that, let's start off with the design in general. One of the first differences you can't actually see, and it's the IP rating on here. This is now IP69K rated.
the charge speed on this. I let the watch completely die, and then I just put it on the charger soon after it died, and it took 2.5 hours to charge it with Samsung's official charger. And I get that when you consider